Tyler, the violence, the violence. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for If Loving You Is Wrong. This is season 5, episode 10. Listen, violent, violent, violent. I was so entertained. We start right out with, I think, one of the funniest scenes ever on this program. Tanya is in full breakdown, okay? So, she's broke down, and then Randall comes out, and he's basically picking, said, "You know I can help her, right? You know that I can help her, right?" He kept asking him, "Go away. Go away. Leave us alone." Everybody's outside now. Like, everybody is outside. Baby, when I tell you, Tanya broke down and her husband broke Randall down. He got up and he punched Randall in the face, and Randall just stretched out, baby, on the lawn over there. And it was actually in Brad and them's lawn, just stretched him out in the lawn. And everybody acted just like they said, I guess. Just let him have it. It was a whole mess. Whole mess. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Esperanza is over there. Now, they just sped off in a white van and took Mika away. She gets on the phone and calls Steven. I said, oh, God. Steven answers the phone. He's at the police station. I said, this is going to be a problem. He's going to get her together, because why did you contact Steven first instead of contacting Eddie first? So Steven's like, I'm on my way. He ends up leaving out. Eddie's like, you running to get away from me? You know, he's like, shut up, Eddie. Ain't nobody dealing with you. Then she turns around and double back and calls Eddie. I said, are you kidding me? And she's accusing Eddie of having something to do with Mika being taken away, thinking he playing. She's steady thinking he's playing games. He's like, I'm not playing games. Then he said, I'm on my way. I said, oh, Lord. Him and Steve are going to be there together. I said, it's going to be a fight. As he's getting ready to leave, Larry walks in. Now, him and Larry talking. Larry says to him, oh, you're on your way out, officer? He said, I'm going to say, shut up. He said, do you still not care about anything? He going to say, what did you say? He said, I asked, do you still not care about anything? Baby, next thing I know, honey, Eddie went and grabs Larry up and got Larry all up. I said, now, wait a minute now. He said, officer, you are, you know, you're assaulting me. And he's telling him, I'm telling you, if you are playing with my little girl, I will kill you. I'm telling you, I'm not playing with you. I will kill you. So he done threatened him. Larry's like, are you going to give me my money back? He's like, not a chance. He said, that's what I thought you'd say. And he went on out. So he, in the meantime, Tanya literally gets taken away. The paramedics show up. They take her away. She snaps all the way out. I mean, no, you're the devil. And, you know, just stone cold nuts in the market. So after that, everybody's ready to go back to their respective homes. Natalie and Kelly are out there. Natalie tells Kelly, come on and get your son. She's steady trying to explain to her with the Lucian stuff. She was like giving her the blues. She was like, listen, I don't have time for this. She told her, listen, I'm tired of your shit. I'm tired of you and this shit, Kelly. Come and get your son. Period. So that was the strangest thing, because she's like, okay. She didn't go get justice. She went back in the house. I said, what the? Whatever. Anyway, by this time, Steven then got to the house. Esperanza's talking to Steven like he's shit. And I know y'all had to notice that. She was on my nerves so bad. Oh, she was getting on my nerves so bad. Talking to him real crazy. And then Eddie comes in. Her and Eddie gets to going at it. He told her, "What did you do?" She said, "I hit her." "What the hell you mean you hit her? This, that, and the other." He gets to calling her a whore and all this kind of stuff. He told her, "I gave you one job to do, you whore, and that was to take care of my daughter. You couldn't even do that." Child, they get to going back and forth. Next thing you know, he knocked her ass down. And him and Steven get to fighting. She go and grab this book. I said, "Is that an encyclopedia?" And she hitting Eddie in the back, and him and Steven tussling. She goes and gets a pot of hot coffee and throws hot coffee on both of them. I said, "Girl, are you okay?" Burned them both. Burned them both. And then Eddie's like, "I'm going to go get her, this, that, and the other." Steven's standing there. She starts yelling at Steven again, talking real crazy. Then she turns around. She gets this ransom call. They tell her the people said Eddie owes us the money, so we got hold of what's important to him. Get us our money right away. She goes back to yelling at Steven. And did y'all catch? Did Steven slip up and tell her that he's FBI? Because he sure told her, he said, "This is a matter of FBI at this point, Esperanza. Let me handle this." I said, "Did you just blow your cover?" She all upset and act like she ain't heard it, but you know that nappy whore done heard it. I said, "He just gave up his cover." I said, whatever. So that's all going on. Now let's go on down here. We got old high-ass Alex. She is high. Oh, she's high. And this is when we found out the good old Johnny is basically running a ring of whores. They're running a ring of whores, but Johnny done took a special liking to Alex. He has. He tried to let her out of this whole trafficking situation. But listen, this truck driver came in there, he got to tell him, he said, "I want her." He's like, "No, she's a good girl. She ain't even into all this stuff." That man gave him $4,000. He gave her right on to him. I said, So that's a whole mess. He said, and he was all forceful and grungy and terrible. But for $4,000, I guess she's fucked for free. So what does it matter? Anyway, in the meantime, over at her house, Ian comes over there. He's talking to Marcy and Brad. Brad got all this extra for Ian. Why? Your wife was a tramp. Your wife was a tramp who turned into a slut all over the internet, screwing these black men. And I don't know why you got all this fever for Ian. It is what it is. It is what it is, Brad. You need to chill. He had his DNA. He said, "This is my DNA." He said, "All I have to do is swab the baby's jaw. It's virtually painless." He swabs the baby's jaw. They're like, "All right, you want to see him?" This, that, all that. Because first that's what it's like, "You want to see him?" And he's looking, and she's like, "Don't." And Marcy's ready to get rid of him. She's like, "Don't look. He looks like you. He's a cute little boy." But I was like, "Child, whatever." Moving on. By this time, Eddie done called Larry, talked some shit to him, told him he gonna meet him. He said, "You meet me at my house in an hour," or whatever. He's like, "All right." Larry ends up stopping at Randall's. He finds Randall. Randall is still stretched out on the lawn. Like I said, that's the funniest shit that doesn't happen on this program since it's been on. Stretched out in the lawn. And everybody's walking around the neighborhood like, really? And the other one got some good sense is Justice's daddy is like, "Y'all gonna just leave him out there like that?" They were like, "Yes." Now he's the convict that can't go in the house. Kelly done told him to go on about his business. Go take a walk for an hour. He ain't shit though. First thing he did, he went over to the jail nurse's house. All he think about is banging. I said, "Girl, you got you a real problem there. You keep messing around with him, you got yourself a real problem, sis." He's issues. I just see it. He's cute and all them things. And I think, and Kelly's trying to put on, but yeah, he gets all up underneath her skin, honey. And I said, "This is a mess. This is a mess. Whole mess." But Larry shows up, gets Randall up off of the lawn, goes in the house and all that. He said, "I want you to sue his ass." And that's when I looked at Tanya's husband. Now, I think he's sharp. But Tanya's husband, he is huge. Because Randall's big. Like, Randall is big and tall. He's bigger than Randall. I was like, wow, he is huge. He is huge. Perfect for a fireman and stuff. He's huge. Anyway, real cute with his long hair. Anyhow, so all that's going on. Kelly goes over there and picks up Justice. Justice got an attitude problem. He really did. But all while they were there, Natalie was paying her dust. She ain't got no chat, no time for her. She's trying to explain herself. She's like, girl, take your baby and go home. Lucia gonna tell her after the fact, you know, you really ain't got to do her like that. She was like, what? I said, Lucia, you might want to leave that alone, bro. Leave that mess alone. Child, he was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, there you go. Whatever. Leave that shit alone. Natalie said, I'm going to talk to her. She said, see, I'm done with you. I can't ask you no questions and all of that, but I got a conversation for that hoe. And I'm going to have it with her when I'm done being mad. Because, see, Natalie ready to whoop her ass. So she's like, I said, girl, I understand. I understand about Lucia. I tear her up too. I understand. So anyway, they got all that going on. They go home. That whole thing was a mess. Justice and his parents, oh God. When she introduces him, telling him he's your father, he's looking at him like, yeah, whatever. Then he's like, well, maybe you can come by sometime. My mother got my schedule or whatever. But she gets telling him that he gonna stay there. Justice goes to go off. He went off. And was like, I'm going to bed. I don't even want to hear no more about this. Like, girl, you ridiculous. And what does he find? He was a jailbird. She a jailbird. He's like, oh, you two goddamn convicts, honey. I ain't got time for this. He got an attitude problem. And that Terrell is a mess. He's a mess. A mess walking around the town banging folks. Anyway. And I had nerve to say, y'all got a lot of drama on this block. Yeah, you're part of it. Shut up. Anyway. So, Larry's leaving. He on his way to go to his house to talk with Eddie. He runs into Ian out in the street. Now him and Ian get to threatening each other back and forth. He's like, you know I'm going to take you down. He's like, yeah, whatever. And they going back and forth. I said, okay. So we see, see this is the part, the fail safe in the story. Because you know you can pull right up to when Larry goes home. Larry pulls right up to the front of his house, but Larry pulled into, he was in this parking garage, so that didn't make sense. But I said, this ain't nothing but some more Tyler Perry's bullshit, and he don't have the authentication together for this program like he does. He makes these mistakes a lot. But Larry's in this parking garage and he's putting something into the trunk of the car, and here comes Eddie. Eddie's sitting there watching, and Eddie takes and runs his truck into Larry, therefore smashing Larry in between the bumper of the back bumper of his car and the truck. The violence, the whole violence of it all. But it's not. He wasn't supposed to be in the parking garage. Why is he in the parking garage? He's supposed to be meeting him at home. Whatever, Tyler. However, I ain't getting into it. That was it. Like I said, there was a lot of violence in this one. But when Eddie smacked, well, he didn't smack her. Yeah, he did. He knocked her. He knocked her ass down. Tore it. I said, oh, well, that's on her. She talked too much anyway. And that was mean, Mr. Colwell. But whatever. She gets on my goddamn nerves. Anyway. I'll catch y'all on the flip side with this later.